Hey everyone, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So we're gonna do something different. As you can see, I got some candy. I had to go to Hannaford and do some groceries today, and I'm walking around and I'm like, man, what do they have in here that I could throw into some resin? So I saw some candy corn and I'm like, yeah, nobody eats candy corn. I'll just buy some of those. And we're going to stick them in. So I pulled out my two little pumpkin molds. And we are going to put the candy in the resin and then we're going to pour them. And we're going to see how they look. I'm hoping they don't run. So I'm not going to put these on a heat mat or anything. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. So I've got my resin, my thing just beat, so my resin is all mixed. So we're going to just divide some up, I guess, and I made 8 ounces of the Let's Resin epoxy resin, because I had it in my studio from yesterday, so it was already a little bit cooler, so I mean a little bit warmer, so I didn't have to run it through the heater, or the resin warmer I should say. But I do love that because it has definitely made a difference in the amount of bubbles that I've been getting. So all right, so I'm just gonna wipe this off. Oh, come here, paper towel. Why do you gotta do that? All right. I'm sorry, guys. I know you probably don't like watching me clean my paddle, but if I don't do it when I take it out, I end up forgetting, and then my resin dries on my paddles and it's a mess. So I've just been trying to get in the habit of doing it when I'm done. All right. I'm gonna just take a clean stick, just kind of remix this and make sure I got the sides and everything. So I'm contemplating running it through the debubbler after I put the candy in, but I don't know, guys. I'm not sure how that is gonna work. And I think I would have to put so many cups because I don't have a vacuum chamber. I just have the Let's Resin debubbler, so that is not like the greatest thing. So I'm gonna put my resin in here. And then we're gonna add our candy to it. But before I do that, I am gonna put a little bit of the crushed crystal in here, just in case there ends up being like a few clear spots that maybe this will kind of, you know, give a little sparkle, or maybe hide some bubbles. I don't know. So I am gonna put a decent amount. For this is a decent amount, because this stuff you usually only need a smidgen. All right. So we can definitely see that crushed crystal in there. Okay. Because I'm thinking these took like maybe 5 or 6 ounces, but I'm thinking with the candy, that should displace a bunch of it, I hope. We're about to find out, guys. And hopefully they don't run. All right, so that is pretty much like doubled my resin. All right, so I guess, you know, and then I figured we could like decorate the outside of the pumpkin if they come out good once they're cured. All right. So I'm gonna try to get, you know, I didn't even try these candies to see if they were even gonna fit in here, guys. Oh my gosh, that would have been so bad if they didn't fit. Because I want them to be pretty packed with the candy, but also, let me just pour some of this clear back into all right. And that way there I can kind of scoop more of the candy. But I figured these would make cute little pumpkins. Hopefully. And I contemplated adding like a little bit of alcohol ink, but then I'm like, no, because then it's going to take away from the candy color if I put too much. So I'm like, you know what? We're just sticking with clear. And we are just going to try to get these packed. And hopefully I have enough candies. So I'll do one complete first to make sure I have enough to make like one full set. But I do want to have enough resin in there too that, you know, it's going to hold these together, because I don't want to pull it, you know, demold it and have my pumpkin fall apart because there wasn't enough resin to hold my candies, or have major bubbles on the outside. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of make sure like there's like no big voids down there, that there is candy and resin. As far as the bottom though, I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be a little tricky because I want it flat on the bottom. And those candies are going to stick up a bit. So I might, once I get them all full the way I want them, and then I fill the rest with resin, we might end up having to put like just a little bit of orange on the bottom. There we go. Because I don't really want to have to sand. All right, so I'll move that back. And Now, on this top here, I want a candy corn to go all the way around the top because I'm thinking that's going to be cute. And I don't care which direction they're going. I just, you know, I want there to be a piece of candy in that rim. Just going to get them around the side. So it's almost kind of like doing like a Scrappy, but with candy. Why not? Now I ended up buying some of those little like peeps for Easter, and I never got around to doing it. So I'm like, I'm buying these, I'm doing them today. Okay, so definitely gonna add more candies. And then I'm going to have to top those off. All right, let's do our pumpkin here. And this one might not get as full, but we'll see. We're gonna see. Oh my gosh, guys. We had Chinese for supper. Our favorite Chinese restaurant closed a few years ago. You know, the woman she was getting up there in age. She's still kicking though. Well, we really didn't have any real good Chinese places, and her brother, who was the cook of her restaurant, opened up a new place, and we went and got takeout after we did groceries, and oh my goodness, yum yum. It was so good. And I definitely ate too much. So don't forget, guys, I have been adding a few things to my website. Everything on my website is free shipping. So the shipping is included in the price. So I've got to figure out how to do a banner on my website that will say free shipping. I know there's a way, I just don't remember how to do it. So I'll have to just take a day and play with it a little bit. And all right. So I think and just gonna stir these, get these coated. And then if I have to mix up some more, which I probably will, I can do that, and I'll just finish pouring it off camera, but I was hoping that the candies would displace a lot more than they did, but you know what, let me get a, let me see if this would work better, just to kind of push them in. You know what, I'm just going to use my fingers, because that's going to be the best. All right, so let me just try to get one completed, so then I'll know what I need. And I hope these do not float, because that would be awful. My only fear is now I'm going to get bubbles in my cup, in my hat. So I'm definitely going to have to mix up, I would probably say 3 ounces. Yeah, see there was a bubble. And that was the other thing why I was contemplating running it through the debubbler, but we'll just see what happens. And I can see all right, so that looks, that's looking pretty good. Let me see if I can pop one more candy in that hat. Yeah, just like that. See, some of them I can't tell if it's a bubble or if it's the white of the candy. All right. And those seem like they're staying down good. Whoa, stay in the pumpkin. Really? Got to make a mess. All right, so let's just put some candies in this little bit. Might as well get what we can in here, right? Stay under there, candy. All right, so get these last few in. I'm probably only going to mix up 2 ounces. I'm thinking that will be enough, because that's about what it took to finish filling those. So I think I think 2 ounces will be a good amount. And then we'll still have some left if we want to make something else. All right. So let me just grab a orange alcohol ink. All right. That would be so cool if that could stay like that. All right, and I'm just gonna put maybe 3 on the top there, and then we'll swirl it. That way, the underneath, which is the top now, but it will be the underneath, will kind of match. But that's light enough, we can still see the candies through there, so, all right. So what I'm gonna do is, let me get a couple more ounces of resin, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got about 1 more minute. I'm just mixing this one by hand and hoping and praying that we don't get too many bubbles. So I just used the stick that had the crushed crystal on it, so there's plenty of sparkle in here. Because this one definitely, there's not a ton of resin in there, so I mixed 3 ounces. I don't know if I told you that, but these look like they're staying pretty good. So I just want that color on the bottom. All right. So let's go ahead and so this one in the front is definitely probably going to have more bubbles than the back, you know, than the back ones. But I'm hoping by, you know, by sitting that it will, you know, debubble on its own. I'm hoping. All right, let me try to work the bubbles out of at least the visible areas. So maybe because we, you know, poured the candies, the resin after, the resin was able to get in there without maybe having any bubbles. I don't know. Oh, there's a bubble in there. I can see it. And I'm hoping too, by pushing, you know, the candies, if there is a bubble, it will help to dislodge it. I don't know. I guess I'm just grasping at straws now. Oh. All right, so that's about as full as I want that with candy. Let's see if we can squeeze a few more around. All right, so I guess that is all the candy that we're gonna fit in here. Oh my gosh, guys, I just enough. I mean, I could maybe use like a few dots more. So 11 ounces and a whole bunch of candy. That's the measurements. Oh, I'm so technical. All right. I'm gonna have to clean my phone because I touched my phone with my sticky gloves. All right. Again, I just at least want the, you know, the brim of the hat to have candies. Now I'm wondering if I put a tea light in, like inside the pumpkin, if it would show through the candy. So we will probably be trying that once these are cured. This one's running out. Come on. I really don't want to have to open the other one. But I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to. Good apricot. It's close. There's orange right here. Yay! Oh, and it's open. All right. Get this one thrown away. All right, let's do our last little swirls. I'm just trying to get some where there's some clear. It doesn't have to be completely, but I would like a little bit of color instead of just clear. And I don't want it to drip down is what I don't want. All right, this one I might have to add a little more. Get down there, Candy. It was that one that was wanting to stand up, and I was like, no, 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 you lay down. All right, and I got my little nub on my little hat right here, so that's, just go around, make sure I got no, hopefully no trapped bubbles. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is all she wrote for this one. So I'm just going to leave these, and I will come back, and hopefully we have some cute little candy corn pumpkins. Oh, and it's firm enough where I can actually wipe some of the hat off. All right, and I got my arm stuck in it, so alrighty, guys, that is it, and I will be back on demold. Okay, guys, it is time to see if we got a few bubbles on this top, but that's fine. And we got one here, two of the candy corns poking up just a little bit, but we will see. All right, let's get the pumpkins out. Now, I'm assuming we're gonna have some bubbles, just because, you know, when you add stuff like this to a piece, you end up getting bubbles. I'm just hoping we don't have any big holes. Oh, that came out cool. All right, so I'm not seeing any big bubbles through here. There are a few little micro bubbles at the bottom here, but that is pretty cool. And we can see just that little bit of swirl at the bottom, but it didn't like overtake our candy. Cool. Now, this is going to be the true test here. We got a bubble. We do, right there. But that's the only one. So I could maybe put a spider there. All right, so then we have our little strap for our hat. So we got that one there and just a few there, but that's fine. Oh, that's cute. All right, let's get the other ones out. Hopefully we have the same luck. I was sweating it all night. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't have any big bubbles. Oh, we got a bubble right here. But because it's clear, it's not really showing up much. And we had a few little micro ones down in here. And we can see the sparkle. Yay, no big bubbles. Cool. All right, are we going to be as lucky with this hat as we were the other one? But that bubble should be easy to fix with some UV resin because the piece is clear. So maybe, and we got bubbles on this one. And we did get one bubble on the tip here, but not on this tip. I just realized I could see it when I was looking at it sideways. So we got the full hat on this, but we did get 2 bubbles on, but that's not bad considering all that candy I jammed in there. All right. There we go. And our hat fits good. All right, so let me get some UV and my light. All right, so let's go with the one with the one bubble right there. And luckily for me, the hole is big enough. Actually, I'm going to take a micro brush instead of a paper towel. And So you can still see the bubble, but it's full. Oops, sorry. All right. Trying to set this up here so that I can work on my next one while that's curing. There we go. Just got to get a little creative. All right. And I am going to try getting those little bubbles filled as well. Oops. And then we'll just put a little bit more in after. So I'm going to try to get that. All right, so let's pop that underneath. All right. Okay, so that one is all done. And that one went to this one. So let me grab my black and let's see. My fine tip silver. And let's see. And we will just get our little spider web. All right, I'm just gonna let that dry for a second and I'll get this one on and then I'll do the side, the little side pieces. And these will go up on my website. And remember, everything on my website is free shipping. And I have to hold like at an angle so that I can see where the, like the little ridges. Because it's clear, so, and I really can't see the little lines. Now we have one. Try to angle my hand different and see if that helps. Yeah. Okay. And let's do the buckle. Actually, I'm going to get the fatter tip. Let's, all right, so let's find our little buckle here. So that looks good. That makes that pop out. And let's get this one done. Okay. So the other thing I have to do now is I have to fill this little nub here. There we go. All right. So let's get our black out and get our little door colored in here. I'm going to take the other end and I'm going to go over. I'm going to try to leave those ridges in the door so that we can color them with the silver marker. So I'm just going to kind of go over the door as best as we can. Okay, now I'll switch the ends again to fill in them little tiny grooves in between the stairs. Just like that. And then I'll clean around that a little bit. And we're going to do the same on this one. Let's get our door frame in. We'll flip it. We'll go to the other end and do the same thing. Get our door. And the reason I'm doing it like this is so that the black has a chance to dry before I try putting that silver on. So I don't get the silver running in to the door grooves. Although it kind of looks cool even just like that. So yeah, maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. But we'll maybe add some silver just to tie it into the rest of the piece. Well, crap. That didn't work out so good. I don't know how that even popped out. All right, let's flip the end, go back to the skinny end. Okay. So we got our other tip on, and that's all fixed. So, and did have a little bit. I didn't do the front on that one, so I'm gonna wipe that off so they will match. So that looks pretty good. Wipe that on my paper towel here. Just a little alcohol on this little tip. Wipe it on the paper towel so I don't. Okay. Now let's get the fine point, fine tip, and hope and pray I don't ruin this because this is not very fine. No. So what I'm going to do is, oh, that's working. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks cute. Just kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. It's not the greatest paint job I've ever done, but it's hard with these little so you just got to get the paint to drip down into the groove. And there are a couple of little micro bubbles around the little holes. So I'm trying to not splatter the silver. And oh, okay. No, I'm just going to leave it like that. I think that looks cute enough. Okay, so we can let them dry. Now we go back to the black. And we're going to try and get this, the rib of the hat done. And then we will call it finished. This is really hard on clear, guys, because you can't see that, like the definitive rib. So I'm trying to keep it at an angle. You know, and I'm trying to keep the line somewhat straight. I'm gonna have to clean that side up just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. We'll do this one. Yeah, I think starting from the buckle and working around work better doing this one. Because then I had where I knew where the band is supposed to connect. So yeah. And then I'm gonna have to look to see if I have any like spiders or something that I can put over the where the bubble holes were, so you don't see it from the top. Yeah, this one came out better, but we can fix this one. And let me get a Q-tip. I think Q-tip might work a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. There, much better, much better. And I just want to redo the silver, do a second coat. Why does it, one always comes out so much better than the other? I don't get it. Okay. So this is our little pumpkins so far. Let me put you on pause and see if I can find some little tiny spiders. Okay. So I've also got these, which are actual glitter pieces. And I was thinking we could maybe just put a few on there. I don't know. And then I have these rings that are just plastic. I got at the dollar store. And then we could do something like that, just to give it a little bit of something and hide that bubble, because that's a big one. This one is kind of blending in now, like you really don't see it, but we could either do that or, you know, so I have bats, I have these like little iridescent spiders, and then I have witch hats. I'm kind of liking these more so than the big spiders. So I'll just get them on there, and then I can just put a dot of glue. And all right, let me grab my because I have bats and I have witch hats. So we could just kind of put a, you know, a few of each, and that way we're not, it doesn't look like we intentionally had to cover something. I'll just get these placed. That one's going to go there to cover, or maybe the spider. The spider works a little better there. And I don't want to kind of overdo, but if I'm going to put, you know, something on there, I want to have it like I had planned this all along. All right, so we have what? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 spiders, 3 spiders, a couple bats. And actually, I'm going to take these bats off because those ones are not holographic. So we might as well, that's 2, stick with like the holographic. Come on. Now that big one, I think we're gonna have to put a spider there. We needed something a little bit bigger there. All right, so these are the bats. Let me get your covers on because I'm gonna have them all mixed in here in a minute. I'm gonna grab my B7000 and we're just gonna make a dot. Use one of my little tubes because the dots are a little bit smaller with these. And I think I'll make a dot and then I will pick it up. And I don't, you know, and it's not like I'm putting them all facing one direction. I want them more sporadic. And there's 2 there. I'm trying to separate. Oh. Okay. There we go. We got one done. Okay. Now let me kind of hold it up and look at it and see. Yeah, that's, I think, just enough. Added just a little bit of something, something. So that is our video for today, guys. A cute little candy corn. The only thing is, do I have a light down here? I do. And of course, we ain't going to be able to tell down here, but I will bring them up in my office and we will see if the light shows. These might not just be strong enough. I don't know. But I will get some final pics for you guys. Here we go. Alrighty, guys. Have a fantastic day. I will see you on the next one. Bye.